Hello, I'm Detective Jessica Barriel with Miami-Dade Police Department, Organized Crime Bureau, Human Trafficking Squad. I've been investigating human trafficking cases for 5 years. So human trafficking is broken down into two components. There is labor trafficking and there is sex trafficking. So sex trafficking, my experience has been that is a difficult crime to investigate because it is not blatantly expressed and it's not something that you can see just on its face. You have to, unfortunately, look a little further. It used to be where people believed that a victim of sex trafficking was kidnapped, thrown in some kind of white vehicle and rushed off to never be seen again. That's not the case. We have to be wary of the internet and even individuals that we meet in person who have some other idea. They can psychologically manipulate you into believing that they're being friendly or they're developing some kind of romantic relationship when in fact they're grooming you, and in turn one day out of the blue will ask you to do something out of love in order for them to benefit off of you. Sex trafficking does not just target females. It targets anyone, any gender, any age, any culture, any background. It really does exist amongst us. It's in our neighborhoods, it's in our schools, you name it, you are exposed, and there's always the potential of being victimized anywhere. A lot of people believe when they hear the term human trafficking that someone is just being sex trafficked. But the fact is that there are victims of labor trafficking as well. Labor trafficking occurs just as much or as often as sex trafficking does, but in other sections of our community. We've seen labor trafficking cases involving minors, foreign nationals, forced to work in debilitating weather conditions for very long hours throughout the day without the proper clothing or the proper equipment, where they don't have the facilities that any human needs. There's no restrooms out where they're working at. There's no food. We've also seen domestic servitude, where also, unfortunately, foreign nationals are kept within the house and they're not allowed to leave, and they work extremely long hours throughout the day from early sunrise to late at night preparing for the families, and they're not being paid, so they get caught up in that situation. Sometimes they're even kept from their personal documentation. It's being held by their employers, so they feel like they have no way out because they know nothing else. The Miami-Dade Police Department takes every tip that comes into our unit very seriously. Every tip gets investigated from start to finish. There is no tolerance for human trafficking in our county. So we will follow leads and we will look into it and we will investigate and we will make arrests. If you want to report or you feel that someone needs assistance, you can do so anonymously. I urge you to call our human trafficking hotline at 888-373-7888.